Before doing this movie, I had no idea who George Mueller was, which is crazy because his story is incredible. He rescued over 10,000 children and gave them quite literally, a home and a new start at life. When I think of George Mueller, I think of a man with just an insane amount of faith, somebody who is inspirational, who just had such a domino effect on everybody that he met. I'm excited to tell a version of his story or an inspiration of his story, because I feel like where we're at in the world, we just need positive. Um, we need positive things to watch, but we also need someone who is influential, as George was, somebody who was actually making a difference. He was just an ordinary man. There wasn't anything about him that was above anybody else or even particularly special about him, other than he just had incredible, outrageous faith that God was gonna supply him with everything he needed to go on this journey. And I think we really take that to heart in this film.
It's gonna sound crazy because, like, I know it's a lot of work. I'm not saying it's a lot of work, but I think the one thing people can take away from this movie is we all have a role that we can play in these kids' lives. Um, Whether it's as simple as finding a like maybe a youth home nearby that you can cook or bring items to, or if you're good at art, you can go and like teach them art classes. Just finding ways to get involved and and be a part of the fix and the change that these kids need. They need something to be hopeful for. They need something to look forward to. And the more you have people coming in and letting them know, hey, you're not walking through this journey alone, but you do have people who care about you. Just it's like offering just friendship, relationship. That's all these kids want. They just want a relationship that they can count on. So I feel like there's so many simple things that we can do. I think oftentimes we try to complicate it more than it is. I think there is a really large movement who have just I don't know if it's become braver or just found their voices a little bit more. I feel like our industry has shifted so hard in one direction that I think a lot of believers suddenly feel like, wait a minute, hold on, we're getting left behind here. We have a story that we want to tell too. And also all these projects that are totally compromising, um, we don't have to compromise our values and what we watch just because that's the only thing that's out there. And I think that for a lot of us, especially as filmmakers, we are driven to make content that we're really proud of. We're driven to make content that is inspiring and hopeful and that's actually watchable for your family. So I feel like the entertainment industry is really making a shift and they're realizing there is an audience for movies like Home. I'm excited about this project because again, not to like put other Christian movies down, but I feel like there's just such a Christianese culture and it doesn't really tell the truth of what it really looks like to live in this walk. This walk is not picture perfect, squeaky clean. The walk is hard. I mean, you go back, you read scripture, it was dirty, it was hard. The journey was not an easy one. And you know, you even look at the disciples and these were not squeaky clean men. These were rugged boys who had so much learning and were given so much grace, and they were broken like all of us. And I like telling the real broken journey that these people go on. I do love that there's no compromise, but even more so, I love that it's very authentic and real, talking about real struggles, but redemption and hope at the end is something that I think we all are looking forward to.